But right now, Mr. J is going to show us the wacky history of video games.
Hip hip hello, hey, it's Mr. J. And you know, in days gone by, the place to be on Friday night was the video arcade. Now we have here, well, not a real arcade, they wouldn't let me wheel that into the studio here, but the next best thing are these miniaturized things called tabletops, as well as other electronic games. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's show you actually the first arcade style game ever. It would be this strange looking green thing here from 1971 called Computer Space. A very strange looking machine. Actually, for something so old, it looks a little bit futuristic. This was a very primitive machine, but the first one that actually had a stand-up situation where people would play. And of course that led into Pong and the legendary Space Invaders in 1978. This game actually was such a sensation, such a fad, that in the country of Japan, Tokyo had to go and print more of their equivalent of quarters. So many people had quarters in these machines, they couldn't take these out fast enough, and there was a national quarter shortage. Can you believe that? All because of a video game. And things peaked, actually, as the arcade games get fancier. We have Asteroids leading into Pac-Man, Frogger, and on until in 1982 the video game industry doubled what movies made. And that's the same year that Star Trek II, E.T., all these huge movies came out. Video games were twice as profitable. Now let's just have a look at some of these. Donkey Kong. Here we go. The first game to introduce Mario, even before Mario Brothers, was this. And Pac-Man, you've all heard of that. Let's turn this on here. There we go. And Space Invaders here, of course, as we just discussed. We have here Zaxxon. Let's turn this on. Let's make a lot of noise here. Let's pretend it's Friday night back in the 80s. We'll turn on here Galaxian. There we go. Galaxian is sort of a Space Invaders advanced version where you shoot aliens coming down. Popeye is here. Q*bert. Okay, get going, Q*bert. He's sort of like an orange guy with a big nose, and he hops around. Never mind, okay, that's cool. We have Ms. Pac-Man, of course, the sequel to Pac-Man. And, oh, I lost a man. Well, that's all right. Bowlatronic. This was a funky old machine where you have to bowl and stuff. Amazatron. For the things we did in the 70s, you have to sort of find your way around this maze. And Frogger. Get the frog across the street. Everybody saw the Seinfeld episode with the arcade machine. And Little Professor Calculator. We got Centipede. And we got, well, this book all about high scores. There's records. There's books. I tell you, folks, the history of arcades is amazing. This is sounding like a Friday night back in the 80s. Woo! Heaven! Yeah! Woo!